Good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Today's Thursday. How do you feel? I hope you're feeling good. It's another great day ahead of us. Going to be warm. 99 degrees is expected today. On that heat index side, we should hit 111 before it's all said and done. That's a lot. Now, as we begin this day, we want to remind our friends that are in the edge of Alabama and northern Mississippi, there could be some severe weather. The Mississippi side and the east central portion, not so much, but northern Mississippi, as we'll pull this up to show you what we've got showing on radar this morning. As we start here in Knoxville County, that'll be where we get to a level 1 there, just north of Sugarlock. This will move northward through Starkville, through West Point, take it in Corinth all the way up to Collierville, Tennessee. Now, as we look over this Bama side, anywhere from Utah, Alabama, Selma, and north of Montgomery, bad. But when we reach Anniston, Gadsden, Alabama, Decatur, and all those areas around Huntsville, if you're going to be traveling 65 today, expect it to be a little bit worse. That's a level 2 storm from Lexington, Tennessee, all the way back down to Anniston, Alabama. So just a little heads up as you begin your travels today and which way if you've got to go. Donna, how are you? Jerome Lee is up. Good to see you, my friend. Roy, too. Special guest this morning as we'll begin the show. Senator Chris McDaniel will be in this morning. He'll be here just a few moments after 7 to talk with us about the election that is in the air. It's coming next week. Also, Ben Shirley will be here with us. He's running for House. We'll hear from those two this morning as we get ready for this. Also, Ward Calhoun will join us tomorrow, and I think we'll have Ricky Roberts coming in one last time for your sheriff, Lauderdale County. A big deal there. A lot of sheriff's race going on from Clark County, Kemper County, a bunch going on. We hope your candidate does well, and the only way to do that is get out and vote. Make sure you do that. Important time because whoever it is, they're there for at least 4 years after this. A lot of folks have learned that about the city of Meridian, haven't we? We'll leave it at that. Let's go for a good word. Let's pep things up. Let's go see Brother Ben. First Baptist Church of Collinsville, where all this goes on.
As I read Romans 5:15 through 19, I'm reminded of the hymn, Grace Greater Than Our Sin. The first verse says, marvelous grace of our loving Lord, grace that exceeds our sin and our guilt. Yonder on Calvary's mount outpoured, there where the blood of the Lamb was spilled. That line, grace that exceeds our sin and our guilt, helps capture the magnitude of Jesus' great sacrifice and the value of God's grace. Matthew 5:15 says, but the gift is not like the trespass. For if the many died by the trespass of the one man, how much more did God's grace and the gift that came by the grace of the one man, Jesus Christ, overflow to the many? The truth of this verse is very simple. God's grace is far greater than our sin. That's great news for any of us because we know there is nothing of value that we could ever offer to remedy our sin problem. The great price was paid for our sin. Jesus lived the perfect life and was the perfect sacrifice that satisfied what God demanded. If we accept this as a great gift, the Bible says we will be made righteous before God. Salvation is offered to all people, but only those who accept the gift of God's grace will experience this grace that is greater than all our sin. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Welcome back. I always hope that those words of encouragement start our day good. Maybe it'll direct you the way that you need to. A lot of times a message is just for you. That could have been yours today. Let's see, 6:34. A smile, a cup of coffee. I'm waiting on my third cup to get my day going. Ooh, let's see here. Becky Gowdy, how are you doing? Miss LaWanda is joining us there. Janice Bounds is in. Chief, how are you? Cornbread, I see you're up too. Kemper County at its greatest there. As we look around the nation, one of the things that we see that probably won't be happening, Arizona says, well, it'll just cost too much. Arizona Republicans were asking for hand ballots to be counted by hand. They've discovered that it'll cost too much. A little over $1 million to count that. And the last time they done it, they had errors in 46 races. I'll leave that alone. I'm not sure. Works pretty good here in Mississippi. We usually get it turned out quick. There really ought to be one set standard for voting when it comes to, especially to the national races, to where within an hour 2 hours, 3 hours at most, you would know who won. That can be done. I don't know why. One set of rules. Everybody show your driver's license, who you are, and you can cast a vote, and it's counted quickly. Somebody could figure this out. As they used to say as a kid, it ain't rocket science. It could be figured out. Let's see here. We don't have this problem here, but I have seen a few more on game cameras. Bears is not a huge problem in the state of Mississippi. Pennsylvania, a little bit different. Guy went out to his garage, attacked by a bear. He was bitten in the head. Whew. And it's like highly illegal to hunt those. They can hunt you, but It's always that person, you see it in the news where, well, he was normal. We didn't expect that. And, well, this is the case of that. Nothing seemed unusual as a woman was held captive in a man's garage. No telling how many times he's done this before. All the neighbors say he seemed like the perfect guy. He even saved the neighbor's dog one time. She escaped. He's in jail now. Oregon. You don't hear a lot about Oregon. Not at all. Leah, and I don't know this young lady. Some of the newer stars, and she may be old and I just may be wrong, but a star. She's an actress, I believe. Leah Remini, am I pronouncing that correctly? She says that she's been harassed and harassed and harassed by the Church of Scientology. She tried to leave, and more or less they didn't want her to. Psychological torture is what she said she's gone through. I'll leave them alone. I don't really know much about that religion of where they go and what they do, but it's different. You often hear that you don't just leave. I've heard that once or twice. Let's see what else is shaping America this morning as we look at a few of these stories here. Today, it is coming. I'm trying to find the exact time on this. Florida is set to execute a man convicted of strangling his wife and brutally murdering another woman. They've dropped the appeals. He's 61 years old, and it should happen tonight at 6 p.m. at the Florida State Prison in Stark, Florida. It's coming. Let's hope he met his maker. He didn't give his victims a chance, did he? You'll never see me side with a criminal on things like this. I know there's others that disagree with me on that, but I don't. Judgment Day is coming, 6 p.m., Florida. It will happen. A miracle, as we see a deputy is recovering as we go to Oregon. We go back to Oregon this morning. A deputy was shot multiple times. He even got one in the head. He is recovering, going to be fine. Miracles do happen every day. That is a miracle to be shot that many times and recover from it. We're glad to see that. A big storm. Ohio, cops chased down a couple. Bullets started flying. They had kidnapped someone. They're arrested now. Always from back to blue. You never know what these gentlemen walk up to when they walk up to a car, especially at night. I know there's a lot of former police watching, probably some that are on the force now that can tell you more than I can. I've never been in that situation. I'm not Geraldo. I've heard him make those comments, well, I was there. No, you're not there unless you are that person handling the gun, walking up to a car window, knowing the unexpected, knowing it could happen. They face a lot every day. Let's support our guys and gals that wear that blue every single day, no matter whether it's city, it's county, or state trooper. They go through a lot. They work hard for us. We'll be right back as we begin this day. We're going to check your forecast and get you going. Again, we got some special guests on the way this morning.
I'm Kenneth Graham, and I want to be your coroner in Lauderdale County. The job of coroner is primarily about death investigation. In my experience, families and loved ones want the truth. With my training, experience, and background as an investigator, I am the best person for this job. You only get one chance when investigating a death, and this job must be done right. So please vote for me, Kenneth Graham, coroner, Lauderdale County.
The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built in. are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group.
Same old sound, and no one's answering. Vote for change. Vote Ben Shirley, District 81 representative, on August 8th. Ben will answer the phone. Ben will get answers in Jackson for District 81. Ben will create jobs and promote economic development for East Mississippi.
I'm Ben Shirley, and I'm asking for your vote in the August 8th Republican primary.
Vote Ben, District 81, August 8th. Paid for by Ben Shirley.
Big thank you to Steve. I see it now after you pointed out of Leah, the star I was talking about with the Scientology. King of Queens is where she was. And he also goes on to say that back in her younger days, and I remember the episode of seeing her on Saved by the Bell, the current picture that I was looking at from NBC, I just didn't recognize her. Not that she looks awful or anything. I just didn't put something's a little different about her. Still beautiful, but I just didn't catch it. Here's the NBC picture. I just didn't catch the look. Maybe it's the longer hair. It used to be, shoulder length or so? Interesting there. But that's different, very different there. Let's get into your weather forecast now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we begin today, as I said, it's going to be hot as we expect the high temperature today to be somewhere around 99. Heat index will rise to around 111. We'll get into that. As we look back on temperatures, we pull this up to look back. 2010, that was 13 years ago, wasn't it? 102 today back then. Back in 65, it was a low of 60 as you woke up on that day. Sunshine today as we see Meridian 99, Philadelphia 99. Okay, it's 99 everywhere except Yazoo City and Greenwood and the Delta. 102 is what we're expecting in those areas. That's a hot, hot day. Expect it. Now, this is that Alabama side that we showed just a moment ago. In these areas here northward appears going to be that severe weather. We'll show you that map. Today, 96, 97 there in Demopolis. This could be bumped up as they update this around 10 o'clock this morning. I expect it to be a little cooler in Auburn there. And this is where we're looking at that severe weather there. Gadsden, Addison, Birmingham, northward there you go near Huntsville, Alabama. Level 1s for Demopolis and northward toward Tuscaloosa in those areas. Be cautious in your travels today. As we look at the heat index, it is bad. As we look to the west from Jackson back into Louisiana, it could reach heat index of 120. Now, we're already predicted Meridian to be 111. Look at this red. If you live anywhere on that map in those areas, Philadelphia, Meridian, Quitman, as we go to Winston County up through there, anywhere around Louisville, Macon, Mississippi, Columbus, up to 115 degrees today. And that's going to begin from 10 until 8. We urge you, take care of things early or do it late. It's too dangerous to be outside when you're not used to this kind of heat. Even if you do it every day, pretty rough there. Karina, good morning from the big city of Louisville. Glad to have you there. Heat stress right there as we look at the Alabama, stretching all the way from Birmingham on that west side, anywhere joining the state of Mississippi. It's going to be hot. Be prepared for it. As we glance across this, there's no relief force whatsoever as we go back to Texas, Arizona. It's more coming our way as hot weather moves into the area. Today, 99. We get a break tomorrow, only 97. Over the weekend, we'll get an increase to about 95 to 40% chance of showers there on Saturday. Still steadily at Sunday and Monday at 40%. And by Tuesday and Wednesday, look at this election day. 60% chance of rain on election day and also Wednesday. We'll watch that, see how that turns out for everybody. On all the way through the 17th, temperatures will drop there after the 10th, back down to that lower 90s, well, mid-90s, 92, 93. We're not going to be seeing those upper triple digits there. Slight chances of rain there increasing up to the 16th, 17th, around 60% again. They finally dropped all of these little storms that were out in the Atlantic. It is 100% free. No tropical storms are developing, which means the Gulf of Mexico is safe. We like that. As we come across our fishing calendar, major times today to be out fishing is going to be this afternoon, right around 3 o'clock till 5. About a 2-hour window there, the best time to be there. Calm wind becoming west-southwest around 5 this morning. So a nice day in store for us. She was, that going back on that. Beautiful ladies there. So glad to see y'all. Odie is coming in. He's getting prepared. We've got a lot to do today as we all make decisions of what to do when you walk behind that little booth next Tuesday. Can y'all believe it's that close? This is the 3rd, the 8th, so that makes it 5 days if we do our fingers there. Whatever you do, however you vote, just make sure that you show up and do that. Cast your vote so we can all complain about it later. That's what makes it fun, being able to complain, isn't it? We'll be right back in roughly, about 14 minutes. We're coming back live for a great morning show for you to keep you informed. We're also going to talk about a robbery that happened in Lauderdale County last night. Anybody know about that yet? Have you read the headlines of what we posted? We'll give you what we know and discuss all that coming up this morning beginning at 7. Join us, won't you? The Scotty Ray Report. Chris McDaniel on the way. Also Ben Shirley. A lot of politics right around the corner.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.